Hello everyone, and welcome back to my deep dives into the book of Proverbs. Today we'll be going over chapter 8. It starts with, "Listen as wisdom calls out. Hear as understanding raises her voice. On the hilltop along the road, she takes her stand at the crossroads. By the gates at the entrance to the town, on the road leading in, she cries aloud. I call to you, to all of you. I raise my voice to all people. You simple people, use good judgment. You foolish people, show some understanding. Listen to me, for I have important things to tell you. Everything I say is right, for I speak the truth and detest every kind of deception. My advice is wholesome. There is nothing devious or crooked in it. My words are plain to anyone with understanding, clear to those with knowledge. Choose my instruction rather than silver, and knowledge rather than pure gold. For wisdom is far more valuable than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare with it. I, wisdom, live together with good judgment. I know where to discover knowledge and discernment. All who fear the Lord will hate evil. Therefore I hate pride and arrogance, corruption and perverse speech. Common sense and success belong to me. Insight and strength are mine. Because of me, kings reign, and rulers make decrees. Rulers lead with my help, and nobles make righteous judgments. I love all who love me. Those who search will surely find me. I have riches and honor, as well as enduring wealth and justice. My gifts are better than gold, even the purest gold. My wages better than sterling silver. I walk in righteousness in paths of justice. Those who love me inherit wealth. I will fill their treasuries. The Lord informed me from the beginning. Before he created anything else, I was appointed in ages past. At the very first, before the earth began, I was born before the oceans were created, before the springs bubbled forth their waters, before the mountains were formed, before the hills I was born, before he had made the earth and fields and the first handfuls of soil. I was there when he established the heavens, when he drew the horizon on the oceans. I was there when he set up the clouds above, when he established springs deep in the earth. I was there when he set limits on the seas, so they would not spread beyond their boundaries, and when he marked off the earth's foundations. I was the architect at his side. I was his constant delight, rejoicing always in his presence. And how happy I was with the world he created. Now I rejoiced with the human family. And so, my children, listen to me, for all who follow my ways are joyful. Listen to my instruction and be wise. Don't ignore it. Joyful are those who listen to me, watching for me daily at my gates, waiting for me outside my home. For whoever finds me finds life, and receives favor from the Lord. But those who miss me injure themselves. All who hate me hate death." Now that we have read the piece, we can begin to digest it again. So it starts off telling us that we should listen to when wisdom is calling out to us. Again, this is kind of a rehash of some of the previous messages, but I still think it's very important, and so does King Solomon and the Lord. And it says he's going to be pretty much everywhere, at the hilltop, at the crossroads, at the gates leading in. She's going to cry. She's going to call out to you, it says. And it says she wants you to make these good judgments, and she wants us to have some understanding. She's crying out here for us to listen. And I think that's kind of an embodiment of how badly God's trying to show us this better way. Again, it says this in previous chapters, but it's still very important, and it's saying it in another way, with wisdom herself being personified, yelling at you to kind of, hey, wake up. And it continues saying here that, her advice is wholesome. There's nothing crooked or devious about it. There's no twisting of the truth here. And that's, in the Bible, it's all wholesome. It's trying to teach you a better way, rather than all these other things that are trying to lead you astray. And it says just how valuable wisdom is, saying that her instruction is more valuable than silver, and knowledge more valuable than pure gold. And it continues saying that wisdom and good judgment will give you knowledge and discernment, and all those who fear the Lord will hate evil, because the Lord is this purely righteous being in the whole sense of the word. Therefore, saying now that wisdom hates pride and arrogance, corruption and perverse speech, which we know that those are all things that in previous chapters have told us to stay away from, as they are all roads to the grave. And to give some examples, it's saying that, because of wisdom and God, kings have reigned. These rulers have made just and good decrees. Rulers lead with my help, it says. And it shows no discrimination, saying, I love all who love me. Those who search for me will surely find me. Saying that anyone who seeks out the Lord, who seeks out this wisdom, will surely find it. Will surely have success. And it says, because of that, she walks in righteousness and in paths of justice. And then it says how the Lord had formed wisdom in the beginning, before he created anything else. And it says that she was created before everything had began, even before the oceans had been created, before the springs bubbled forth, before the waters, it says, before the mountains were made. She was born before literally everything, it's saying, and that she was with God when he created everything. To kind of put some credit that, she's seen a few things, she's experienced, and she's with God. Because if she weren't with God, God wouldn't allow her to A, give us this wisdom and knowledge, and B, it wouldn't have its own segment here and reiterated so many times in the book of Proverbs and in the rest of the other books where it's mentioned. And it says that she was the architect at his side. I was his constant delight, rejoicing always in his presence. And it's kind of saying how essentially God used wisdom to help create the world. She was the architect at his side. So, if the whole maker of the universe had used wisdom, so should we, I think it's trying to say here. So should we. We should also listen to wisdom, because God himself had used it when he made everything. So it says here, listen to my instruction and be wise. Don't ignore it. Joyful are those who listen. So we should be, listening for God's word. We should be, seeking it out in the Bible here. And it's saying, joyful are those who do that. And for whoever finds me finds life, it says, and receives favor from the Lord. But those who miss me injure themselves, and all who hate me love death. So that's just another thing telling us that we should be, listening for God's voice, reading the Bible, because that's his word. We should be, praying. We should be doing these things, because if you don't, you're actively injuring yourself in the long run and sabotaging yourself and your relationship with God. So I just want to say thank you all for tuning in, and have a blessed night.